Hello everyone, welcome to Mixed Media Monday. This is one of our pre-recorded classes, but I hope you enjoy it. It should be a fun one. We do need to go up another level, sorry. There we go. Okay. Yep, there we are. Okay. So let's get started. So I am using two new products today. I'm using the kite stencil pattern, not for kites though, and this fishy, lovely rice paper from Mermaid Wishes. This is a new one here. So let's come in and we're going to do lots and lots of layers tonight. So we need just a few bits and pieces of paint and then we'll get started. So I'm going to stick with my blues tonight and just, get a bit of patterning down, well, a bit of color down, because we're going to do like an under the sea vibe, and we're going to do our page vertically, because just because your art journal is like this way doesn't mean you always have to do the landscape. You can do one portrait, and that's what we're going to do tonight. So I think I've got nearly every blue you can think of in my palette here. Plus we're going to add a little bit of white. And yeah, see how we go. So here's a little bit of white here. There we are. There we are, there we are, there we are. And then let's come in. Now, it is quite hot today when I am recording this. So if it's not too hot in your day, you might have to make sure that you leave a little bit more time for drying than what I am. But when I'm recording this, it is like heat wave. So the drying time might be a little bit off, depending on when you make your version of this. So let's get some water. And let's just start off with the lightest blue we've got. Not with the teal, the lightest blue, which is the cobalt, no, cerulean blue from the acrylic set. Bit of water. And lots of water and like get it nice and looking like we're under the sea. So this is going to be a fairly wet page. It's going to be a fun one, but it's going to be really wet. So there's the beginning of our layer, and then let's get, we've got several tubs of water because I want to keep my blues a little bit separate. Like I don't want them all to come one color. So let's get the white now. And we're going to come back in and add white in with our fan brush just by flicking. And because our blue is nice and wet, it's actually gonna, I'll lift it up so you can see, it's pushed that blue paint away from the white, which is exactly what we want. Because the ocean is just not one colored blue. There you go. Now we're just going to sit this to one side and let that first layer dry. And while we do that, we're going to do several layers of this. While we let it dry, let's come in and get some of our fishies and seahorses and starfish and seaweeds feathered out. So with a paintbrush with water on it, we're just going to come around and feather. our bits and pieces out. There we go, there's one. And there's a crabby. We're just going to come and do a few just until this is a little bit more dry. And then we'll add our next layer down. So we want to get it so that it looks a little bit like the ocean. Well, a lot like the ocean. So just coming in. So we've got some Nemo fish there. Some clownfish. Let's get a few of these yellow ones. There we go. There's that one. There's another one. Okay. So now let's come in. And, oh, remove that fishy. And next, add our next layer. But before we do that, we're going to come in with a dry gesso brush. And just spread out the wet white flicks we still have. What this will do is make it a little bit more abstract, a bit more speckledy, a bit more motley, like the ocean. Now, putting our palette back down, let's grab some of our metallic blue that we've got. And a bit of water. Put a bit of down. And put a bit of teal. Once again, super runny. But this time around when we flick, we want to use the dark blue. Come and give it just a little bit of a light. Right. There we go. So there is our ocean so far. And let's see. What do we think we should do? I reckon we need a bit of gauze here. There we go. Bit of gauze. We're just going to come in. And let's just come in with a bit of the original blue we used. And and just a little bit of the white as well. Mix it together on our gauze here. And just come and mix it up a little bit. Now, where's those fishies that we got cut? Here we go. Let's come in and stick our fish down. Now, we're going to use the blue acrylic paints as our base. So then they sit within our background. So there's one of the baby ones. So for example, if we come and grab this lot of angelfish here, and we put on this blue, and then we grab a bit of the white as well, so that's a bit of a light blue. Put it down behind. Our rice paper. You can use a paintbrush for this. While our background is still wet. Let's come in. Oh, I had one on my finger. Just smudge out the paint there. Make them look part of the background, so they're just very faint now. There we go. Now let's grab some teal, I reckon, for these fish. Just a bit here and there, all around. Flip over. Stick down. Oh. And rub away. So we want to make it seem like our fish are far away in the ocean, see? They're a bit further off than what they are. Now we use some of this metallic. Just come in. And then, oh, that's a bit of rice paper that wasn't going to stick. There we go. Peel that off. And now just coming in with our dry gesso brush. And grabbing, I say, a bit of this teal metallic. Just coming in. A bit of the blue. And now let's use our flicking brush. And grab some of the white. Lots of water. And then let's flick down. So we really want to get a bit of a motley type look going. So a bit of the teal now. Bit of this metallic blue. bit of the dark blue. And then after we wash out that one there, what we want to come and do just want to come in. Just lightly pat them down. Oh, let's just add a bit more white. And then we're going to add the white to a few of the blues. And really get that explode, like get that bursting of colour. And then let's grab out our thin size paintbrush here. And just come and do some wavy lines in our darkest blue, which is the phthalo blue from the acrylic, the normal acrylic set from Montmartre. We're just going to do this in a few spots. And now while we wait, let's just come in and do a few more of these rice papers that are now going to sit, our rice papers are now going to sit on front. So just doing that. Oopsies, there goes a bit of the fish there. And then just, so these are the ones that are going to sit on front. So you can choose, I reckon I'm going to do a seahorse. I think that'd be quite a fun one. Just watch it dry so fast because of the heat. And then, what about another seahorse? I think this school of fish. And one more seahorse. And what about these ones? here. I don't know if I'll use any of those. Yet to figure that one out. We'll see if we need any more. So let's just come in and feather out the edge here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Oh, wrong end. Bit of a moment. Now, before we come in and what's it called? And stick our next lot of fish down. I actually want to come in and do a bit of this stencil here, and you'll see why in a sec. So let's just paint our wind dry our pages. Okay. So there is that one there. This is what it looks like so far. And now we're going to come in with I think our palette knife. But I'm going to use this one, I reckon. Whoop. It's a bit of a moment, isn't it? I've got paint on the short, so I didn't have paint on already. Ah! There goes these ones. So let's move this one over to here. I don't often use this one, but it should be good. So let's just come in. We want a bit of the modeling paste on our palette knife, and we want our fish to be nice and bright. So we're going to mix with this what's it called, modeling paste. It's the light modeling paste. So then we can come in from Walmart and scrape along, but I want it to be nice and bright, but I want my fish to be multiple colors. Now, instead of trying to get, you know, all the different colors and not to mix on there, what we're going to come and do is, while we have our palette knife, we're actually going to come in with our acrylic inks, the fluoro ones to be exact, and we're going to put a little bit on each area, on like across our palette knife. So I'm actually going to sit this palette knife on this tub of water here, nice and flat, so you can see fully what we're going to do. And I'm just going to lower you close, so you won't be able to see the full pages now, but you will be able to see this bit. So I'm thinking for our fish, we stay with like the very tropicalish vibe and go for the orange and yellow, and maybe even pink. Oh, well, this is fluoro red. And we don't actually want to squirt any onto our layout, and we don't really want to have to carry it over top of the layout, so we're going to put it this way. So we're just going to put like a little bit of it on top. I'm not squirting it on because I don't want it to pool over. I'm just lightly putting my tip. And if you're afraid if you've got any on tip, you can expect it before you put it back in the bottle. So there's our red. And now let's grab the orange. We also probably need to do this side too. If we just grab some in the tip and then like did a few droplets on our palette knife, we have the potential that it would overpool and it wouldn't actually go into the modeling paste. By lightly pressing it on top just means that it will go into the modeling paste hopefully, and hopefully this works, or else I have a bit of a cleanup in aisle 9. But here we go. And then, so let's put our stencil down. I want to come and do a little bit on the bottom page first. So, just a little bit, I reckon, here. So we've got a palette knife. And we left. And look, we can make those into fish. And we did get a little bit underneath it. Ah! The colours are now mixing again. So we scraped it multiple times backwards and forwards. Then we brought that colour to the top. And now let's come and do it over here. I'm not going to apply any more modeling paste to my palette knife because I just don't want to, what's it called, get the colour into my tub of modeling paste. That's the one thing you really want to avoid 100% is mixing those. And let's get a bit of orange on here. And then possibly a little bit of yellow. And then holding on tight. So we're only scraping in one direction. There we go. So there's that one and that one.
The air conditioner at the theatre is.
Oh, okay. Then we're going to do a little bit down here. Oh, you didn't see that bit. Hold up. Let me lift so then you can see what I just did. Can you put that in the sink to soak? Thank you.
Be 79.
How about undying devotion and love? Okay, here we go. There we go. Right, we're back up to full height. As you can see, I did a little bit down here these here. So we're going to turn these kites into fish eventually. First though, we need to come in, and where's our other fishies? So we don't want to overcrowd our ocean. I think that's the biggest worry I have, is I'm going to put too many down, because I do like a good ocean scene. We want the fish to have friends, but not so many that we can't see them all. So what to go and do is we're going to stick them down. Now I'm going to stick these down with actually some gel medium gloss, because fish shine in the ocean, and by putting a bit of gloss down when they dry, they're going to be a little bit shiny. And it's going to make the ocean a little bit more shimmery without coming in and doing like single lines of dimensional magic or glossy accents or the glues that dry glossy. So we're going to use our gel medium gloss as a little bit of a what's it called? Well, not the easy way out, but like, you know, just making our lives easier. It's not cheating, but you know. Okay, so let's come in, and I think I'm going to stick these angelfish down here. So we're just going to put a bit of gloss down here where we're going to put it. So gel medium gloss is still like our gel medium matte. You still have to do the layer underneath the rice, the layer on the rice paper, and the layer on top of the rice paper. You still have to do all three. What happens is it just dries glossy. It's going to give our fish a nice gloss layer. Woo! Look at that. And then let's come in and do our seahorse. Okay, sorry, the rest probably something in the back of it. There we go, and then let's come in and do a bit of gloss down here. Okay, and then a bit of gloss over here. Oh, there's a bit that we haven't feathered out there. Let's rip it off. Gloss down there. And now let's come in with our white paint. And we're actually going to come in and stick our smaller fishies, the last little small fishes that we've got, down with some white paint. So we're going to put this one here, I think. And so once we get it stuck down with the white paint, we're just going to come in Okay. And then we might need, I don't, here's our second one here.
You're creating a reef.
I am.
What do you got?
Our little fishy reef. You know, why not?
Why not?
This is our new fish rice paper. So, I love painting fish. I love eating fish. I do not like fishing though. To get this down pat. The fishing I find to be absolutely boring. Like,
Meant to be solitude. Peace.
oh, thank you.
That's why I don't enjoy fishing.
I prefer to have my solitude in aircon. Come in. Okay. So there are those ones there. Now, what we're going to come and do is we're going to re-add in some of our fishy lines that we've lost. So good. And then at the bottom of every reef, at least the ones I've ever been to, there's always some coral. So we're going to come in and just paint a little bit of coral down the bottom here. In a moment, we're just going to get a bit of this yellow, a bit of the white paint, mix it into that blue again, and just come in and you might think that the white fish is a little bit too jarring, so I'm just going to come in and make a few of those up. Now what we're going to come and do is with our fluoros, Let's just put a little bit of the fluoro down. Of the orange. One second. I have the set that rocked up. The packaging got smashed in the way here, so my set don't exactly squeeze as well as everyone else's. So I'm just coming in and it's all good though because we need a teaching set. I love a good ink, so you know, just means that sometimes I have to give it a bit of a help when I'm being impatient. Like now, but I make sure my paintbrush is nice and clean before I dunk it into the ink pot. So I don't want to mix colours. Right, there we go. And now let's grab out our blending brush, bit of water, and make a bit of a splash. And I do want to add a bit more of that orange in. So what I'm going to come and do is grab out the orange acrylic, a bit on my palette, a bit on my paint blending brush, and then with a bit of water. There we go. And now let's just come and give it a bit of a dry. And then I think we're up to details. Let's move the water tops out of the way. Just coming in and giving it all a pretty good dry. Our modeling paste is nearly fully dry already, so too many colors there. There we go. Okay. Now I think most of it is dry. So let's come in and get out our paint pens. We're going to have some fun. So the first thing we really need to focus on is making our kite stenciled areas into fishies. Very important step there. So we just need to grab Where is our black paint pen? There it is. Let's just get it activated. Oh, there we are. Activated. Right. And you're going to just come down so you can really... Oh, I did not mean for that to be so rough. So then you can see this bit here. And we're going to work sideways. Sorry about that being rough. Did not expect it to be that rough. Normally it isn't. Okay, so let's just come in. And what we're going to do is we just get rid of that feather bit here. I'm going to come in. Give it an eye. Beautiful. You reckon? Or alright. I might give every one of them an eye and a mouth, or a few of them. And then go. And now what we're going to do is we're not going to do it to all of them. Then let's grab the fine red. Come in and do a little bit of a tail, and we're going to do red on a few of them, and even the ones that we haven't drawn faces on. If we come in and do one where your arm is, and then one down and one up here. There we go. And then let's come in with another color. Maybe some dark blue. Our dark blue pen is running out of paint, so we might just only do 3 of them. Go, and then what about we do some, oh, I know, orange. Oh dear. That's okay. Pink pen has leaked. Might just do a polka dot, you know, fish here. I'm just trying to get some of that paint pen off the edge here. I don't know how well I'm going here. I'm yet to convince myself that it's made. I think I might stop using this pen. about that. So just a few fishies there, as you can see. And then let's come in and do our other stack of fishies here. So what we might do is, unfortunately, I got a little bit of my stencil underneath. So I'm just going to come in with my blue paint pen, my light blue paint pen. And just draw in. Our gaps here. There we go. And we do need to come and add this blue in up the top here. So what we might do, just because if we turn it sideways, as you can see, it looks a little bit odd without this blue. So we're gonna, because we've got it in one spot. So let's just come in and give some of our waves here. A little bit of a light blue touch. Okay. Few dots. Okay. We need, look at that light blue. One layer can change everything. Right, now we need the black pen again. I'm sorry that we're doing this sideways, but it just means that you can be a little bit up close and you can see all the details. Okay, so yeah, let's come in and do just a few of these. Not all. Okay. And now let's come in. And do a bit of our orange. Being a little bit wary of the fact that it likes to leak on our page. Just gonna come in. do this one here. So this is not as big of a cluster as the one on the top page. Let's come in now and do the dark blue, if we can get enough of it. And there's our other fishies. All done. Look at that. There they are. So now what we're going to come and do is our coral. We want to add a little bit more detail to this area here. And this is just going to be through some patterns, but I want to really use my fluoro paint pens. Just to get, you know, a bit of that fluorescence going. There we go. So with these, we're going to come in and do a bit of detail. Now, let's start with my favorite color, pink. I'm going to come over here. And let's just section this coral off here. Red. Add a tinsy bit of red. And bit more pink. And where's that purple? There we go. And then let's come in and do our green now. Just add a bit of... Ooh, I lost that paint pen lid straight away, didn't I? Oops, didn't clack it back on properly, obviously. Goodness, we only used it a minute ago. Just come in and do a few little dotties in the green. Then let's come in and do a green one here as well, I think. Even there is no green base. Just getting a little bit more. Green dots on here. And there's some green. Now let's come in and do our like sunset type fluoros. With the last 3 little clusters of corals. What we might do, I'm just thinking of a pattern here. So we've done dots, we've done circles. We might do like wavy lines. Bit of orange in there. Okay, so a bit of wavy line there. I still have a bit of wet paint here that I'm avoiding. And then let's come in and do a bit of a wavy line up here as well. Another wavy line. And then another wavy line. Now, while we wait for those little bits of paint pen to dry, so let me lift it up so you can really see all the little details there. What we're going to come and do, sorry, while you're sideways, I'm going to do this with a bit more room, so I'm going to lift you up. I like doing this through in the direction that I'm working on. So this way. Then let's come in and just add a few bubbles, which are just tiny imperfect circles. And then just a little bit of circles there. And now we spin it, so then we just give our coral a bit of a black outline to go around and in between it. Okay, and then let's grab the pale blue marker. And do some dots. Just a few spots. Now, where is the paint we had? And just with our turquoise metallic acrylic, just going to come and rub in. Give a few edges a bit of a shine. So, and then a bit in the middle as well. Bit down the bottom. Bit down there. Just there we go. Okay. So let's see this up close. So this here is our coral reef. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I do like. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have fun playing around with the fish rice paper and the kite stencil. Thank you all for coming. We'll be back recording soon, teaching live very soon. This is one of the few recording classes that we're doing while we're away. It might seem like a lot, but it's our usual amount, which is just a little bit scary. But thank you all for coming. And we hope you've had a crafting and painting December, and can't wait to be back teaching live. Like, I can't, Mum can't. So we will be back very soon. But thank you for coming, and see you all very soon. Thank you. Bye. Enjoy your week. Bye, everyone.